A wealthy, self-made patriarch, Arthur Welch, preparing an expensive wedding gift for his daughter, receives anonymous warnings telling him not to attend her wedding. After furtive research and an urgent midnight call from an estranged former partner, Henry, Arthur discovers that his daughter Leona and her fiancé Carl have secretly plotted to declare him incompetent, liquidate his company, and institutionalize him. Arthur stages a countertrap, gathers proof, invites extended family, rigs the reception AV, records confessions, and publicly exposes their plan in his father of the bride's speech, blowing up the wedding and severing family bonds. The victory is Pyrrhic. He keeps his assets but loses his family and faces hollow triumph. 2. Narrative structure, beginning conflict climax end, beginning, Arthur buys $15,000 earrings, receives ominous text, don't go to the wedding. Run. He becomes paranoid, checks messages, and takes a hotel room. Conflict, late-night call from Henry reveals Leona and Carl's conspiracy, guardianship/legal strategy to seize assets. Arthur verifies documents with a lawyer, hires investigators, and collects evidence. He must reconcile shock, disbelief, and the need for a plan. Climax, at the wedding reception Arthur uses AV to broadcast recorded conversations and legal paperwork, shaming Leona and Carl in front of 200 guests. Chaos erupts. End, the wedding collapses. Arthur changes his will, disinherits Leona and Carl, wins legal/PR victory but loses family intimacy, an ambiguous, hollow resolution. 3. Emotional hooks and impactful moments. The unexpected anonymous text in a luxury boutique juxtaposes wealth and vulnerability. Midnight phone call from a betrayed former partner, Henry, credibility shift and tension spike. Discovery of guardianship documents at Stevens's office, the paper trail proving betrayal. The recorded living room confession, voyeuristic, morally repulsive. The AV reveal at the reception, public humiliation in a celebratory space, high emotional payoff. The final emptiness of victory, moral ambiguity and regret. 4. Elements that make the story viral or relatable. Family betrayal is universally resonant, elder abuse/financial exploitation is topical. The twist of a loving father-turned-avenger appeals to justice fantasies. Cinematic set pieces, jewelry boutique, hotel, lawyer's office, banquet hall reveal, create shareable, visual moments. Short-form friendly beats, ominous text call evidence montage public exposure fallout. Moral ambiguity fuels debate online. Was Arthur justified? Is familial loyalty unconditional? 5. Weak points, clichés, repetition, lack of depth. Several scenes rely on common tropes, mysterious warning text, midnight call from a disgraced ex, public speech reveal. Repetition of Arthur's internal engineer metaphors, concrete, foundations, becomes heavy-handed. Leona and Carl function mainly as archetypal villains. Their motivations lack emotional nuance. Why did Leona cross the line? The story leans toward theatrical revenge without probing the emotional fallout deeply. Audience may want more quiet moments of regret or remorse. Henry's sudden precise knowledge and easy credibility strains plausibility a little. 6. Suggestions for improvement. Deepen Leona, give her small, believable pressures, debts, fear, misguided protectionism, so betrayal feels tragic rather than cartoonish. Add a scene showing her conflicted private moment. Reduce exposition, show more via subtext and microbehavior, glances, slips, fewer long legal explanations. Vary metaphors, trim repeated construction imagery, use selective sensory detail instead. Add moral ambiguity, include moments where Arthur hesitates to weaponize family secrets. This raises tension and empathy. Tighten pacing, make the investigation montage leaner, let tension breathe in the hotel/home scenes. Raise stakes emotionally, end with a short, quieter coda showing what Arthur loses beyond material wealth, a single object, a photograph. 7. Ideal target audience. Adults 30 to 65 who enjoy emotionally driven short films, true crime/psychological drama fans, viewers concerned with elder rights or family dynamics, and social media audiences drawn to twisty domestic revelations, ideal for Reels/YouTube short form with cinematic visuals. The jewelry case reflected a world Arthur Welch had built, facets catching light like the ledger lines of his life. He held the diamond studs beneath the jeweler's loupe, trained eye cataloging clarity and cut the way he used to appraise a site survey, clinical, exact. Leona deserved perfection. Grief had taught him to give the daughter who remained everything he couldn't give Margaret again. The bracelet of years tightened behind his sternum. "They're exquisite," the saleswoman murmured, the practiced softness of a retail stage whisper. He signed with a hand that did not tremble until his thumb brushed the phone in his pocket. The screen bloomed, "Don't go to the wedding. Run." He read the message twice as if cadence could rearrange its meaning. The diamonds turned to fog. For a long moment the boutique's polished civilized hush collapsed. He could hear the clack of a subway 2 states away. People continued to move around them like planets unconcerned with the small catastrophes of a man in his 60s. He called the number reflexively, a businessman's posture replacing the sudden animal heat of fear. Rings. Rings. Nothing. No automated voice. The saleswoman's hand on the velvet tray, the small sympathetic tilt of her head, she assumed he'd been stricken with some errand's anxiety. He lied about a scheduling dispute and took the Tiffany box to the counter like he was carrying a weight both precious and dangerous. Outside the boutique the mall breathed its anonymous comfort. He clutched the bag and moved through a tide of shoppers who did not know the architecture of his life. $78 million in contracts, concrete and crane, an empire built on deadlines and sweat. His phone buzzed again, another message, "I'll explain everything later, but don't go home today. Trust me." Arthur sat at a cafe table and watched the cream spiral in his coffee as if the world could arrange events into a readable pattern. Logic said prank, wrong number, a mistake that would vanish if he ignored it. Experience argued otherwise. Construction teaches you to watch the small things, stains where a beam won't hold, a hairline fracture that becomes a fault line. He tried the number a second time. The line was a closed throat. He booked a hotel room because the world feels different when you choose to leave it behind. Hotel lobbies are honest, they trade privacy for anonymity and sleep for a receipt. On the television in room 815 a slow news scroll gave him nothing but weather and advertisements for wealth he already owned. At 11:50 p.m. his phone rang. Henry Burke. The name landed like a sling of gravel. Henry, the partner who had, years ago, gambled away more than money. Gambling had hollowed out a friendship until lawyers stitched the carcass together. Arthur listened while the hotel's air conditioner hummed steady as a metronome. Henry spoke in low, urgent syllables. He'd overheard Leona and Carl at Stevens's, talking about guardianship, asset transfers, a medical evaluation scheduled for the week after the wedding. The words arrived as shards. Arthur felt a new geometry settle in his chest, betrayal mapped in legal forms. Protectors became predators. When Henry hung up, the room felt too bright, like a stage awaiting its cue. Arthur opened the drawer and took out a pen and notepad. He wrote down names, times, the legal phrases Henry had used. Paper held better than memory when you were being undermined. He patted his shirt with the recording app already active, the tool of a man who had once used blueprints to foresee collapse. He slept for an hour, and in that short unconsciousness the world rearranged. Morning arrived with hard light and the smell of coffee from a city already busy with lives trust had not yet betrayed. Leona's wedding would be tomorrow. He imagined her in a dress of lace, face flushed with love. Then he imagined the way her voice might change when she spoke about his future, practical, careful, rehearsed. The two imaginings fit together and made a cold, precise shape, the map of a planned loss. He dressed with the exactitude of a man preparing for court. This was not only about diamonds or a single reception. This was about who he would be when the sun set on everything he had built.